Going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Thursday, December 28th. We're about 3 days away from Washington's penultimate game of the season against the San Francisco 49ers, where Washington will be looking to take its 12th loss of the season. After making a change at quarterback, it is very safe to say Washington will be firmly in midst of the quarterback carousel during this offseason and in the mix for one of the top guys in the NFL draft. Yesterday, NFL ESPN insider, an NFC East insider specifically, Dan Graziano, has connected the dots between Washington's reported interest and USC quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams. And Graziano says the Commanders, with a break here or there over the next couple weeks, could find themselves in position to either draft Williams or trade up a spot or two to get him. So Caleb Williams is the projected number one pick of the draft. I'm a big Caleb Williams fan. He's going to be very polarizing through our fan base in the draft because fans feel away about two things. Caleb is eccentric. He has a bit of athletic arrogance to him. He did the painting your nails thing. He did the crying with his mother after the game. And I just want to go home and watch TV with my dog. He was sad after a game. So people don't want an emo quarterback. And there was that reported thing of him wanting interest in having a share of the team in the draft process. I'll tell you what. The kid's tape is like that. The boy's a baller. His comps range between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. If you don't want that because the kid has a personality, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not passing up talent because of that. The other reason will be Washington fans will say, no, he's from the area. What happens every time we draft a player from the area? And to that, I say, 2024 are new beginnings. The GM that we pick, the head coach that we hire, it will all be done in a process that was vetted with due diligence and indifference to what was done in the Dan Snyder era. There will not be someone walking off the boat saying, draft Caleb Williams because he went to school with my son. There will not be a, you must take this GM job, but you have to trade up for Caleb Williams. This will be done in lockstep. Like my boys Tay and Todd and them posted a tweet yesterday that said, for the very first time in an entire generation, the Commanders will have a chance to have an owner, GM, head coach, offensive coordinator, and QB all in sync, all in lockstep. That will be the first time we've experienced such in my 32-year-old life as a fan of this team. So do not let past endeavors spoil what could be if we trade up or if we draft this guy in the first round. If your marriage didn't work out, like me, my first marriage didn't work out, I'm not giving up on women because it didn't work out in the past. Just because we've had 36 starting quarterbacks in the last 25 some odd years does not mean stop throwing darts on the board. You must keep shooting, and you do not turn your nose up to superior talent such as Caleb Williams. I know people that know Caleb and his family personally. He played for Gonzaga Prep, same school Olu Fashanu went to. And his football character and his work ethic is unblemished. Unblemished. So I'm not going to sit here and let people typecast him with the tropes that we throw at every black quarterback coming out, especially a black quarterback that has a personality. Those are the same people that almost let Lamar Jackson fall out of the first round of the draft. The Ravens had to trade back into the bottom of the first to make sure Lamar went in the first round. Those are the same people who said, don't draft C.J. Stroud because he went to Ohio State. Do not make the same mistake when you're typecasting Caleb Williams as diva head case quarterback with low work ethic, because his work ethic is unblemished. He's one of the hardest workers in the room. He's a film guy, and anybody that knows him, his teammates love him. He cries after games. I'd rather him cry than to be like not into it, to be dejected, to be emotionless after the game. Come on now, people tried to make Cam Newton out to be a big pussy because he didn't fall on a fumble in the Super Bowl and he left his press conference early. Give me a quarterback with emotion. Give me a quarterback that cares. But if you're telling yourself that Caleb Williams' tape isn't like that, and he's not worthy of the first overall pick, and that he's not the best player in the draft, your eyes are lying to you. You're letting your preconceived emotional discourse cloud your judgment. And I don't want the people that make decisions here to do the same. Sam Howell, the experience, the experiment that it was fun for a few weeks, but let's call a spade a spade. Our new ownership group and our new regime are going to want to punctuate their inaugural year of running this franchise with a home run at the quarterback position. And I seen this hypothetical on a Chicago Bears YouTube channel. Shout out to Chicago Nick for this. And he put a hypothetical trade for the number 1 overall pick. So this is what we would need to do to draft Caleb Williams. Chicago would receive our number 3 overall pick, the number 36 overall pick in the second round, and our first and third next year. So a first next year, a third next year, a pick swap in the first round, and one of our 2 second round picks. Because remember, we have 2 because we made a trade with Chicago already. So Josh Harris was playing 3D chess in real time. They had the foresight. This is me spitballing, by the way. Maybe they had the foresight. Let's establish a rapport. Let's establish a relationship with the team that we project to have the number 1 pick in the draft, because the Carolina Panthers look like dog shit and were winless at the time. Let's get some compensation. Let's stack these picks on 2 guys we're not going to sign, and let's circle the block and make another trade around draft time. And if we were to do this, we would still have a second round pick, 2 third round picks, and 8 total picks in the draft, where you can attack O-line, where you can attack weapons for Caleb, where you can attack getting some of the defensive pieces that we missed. And then next year, we'd be missing our first and third, but we'd still be able to move more play. What if we move John Allen? We would still have a full arsenal of draft picks in the 2024 draft while getting Caleb Williams if we were to do such. I'm just saying, keep your mind open, because this could go a litany of ways. And it may not go the way you want to as a fan, but give these guys a chance to put firm fingerprints on the entire organization. Dan Snyder did this shit wrong for 24 years. We're finally getting to see what it looks like in a life post Dan Snyder. This is Josh Harris's first crack at it. He may not get it right the first time, but I just want to see an owner willing to shell out the coins for football people to make the football decisions here. If it comes out that Harris said, you better trade up for Caleb, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be pissed, and we're back to square one. I want him to say, when you take this job, I'm giving you full autonomy to do whatever it takes to get your guy. Even if it's not a quarterback, do whatever it takes to build the roster in your vision. Do whatever it takes to hire the head coach that also in lockstep has that vision. That is all that matters. Feel what you want about the prospect, the plan, but all that matters is that the owner, football decision makers, and players all are in lockstep and have the same vision. Because if not, we're back to square one, and we're back to Snyderville, rinse, Washington, repeat. But if you don't know already, I am very interested in Caleb Williams, and I do not care that he has a little prima donna to him. I like a little arrogance. I'm not of the Ron Rivera cloth of you need to have a bunch of choir boys that lack personality on your team. You need to get a couple guys with screws loose on your team. Caleb Williams got a Drake personality. He got a little light-skinned demeanor to him. That don't bother me none, because I've watched this boy since high school. This boy is a dog. This boy is a dog on the football field. He's special. I believe what he does in structure is good enough. But what he does out of structure is special. It's unteachable. It's uncoachable. And those special traits make him the best player. He has the best combination of arm talent, improvisation skills, improv in the draft. He's a magician. He's a wizard. You cannot knock a guy who's comped to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. He was better in college than Drake May. I don't care that Drake May is the all-American hunky 6'5", 230-pound white boy. This is the best player in the NFL draft. He's the best player. We've suffered from fatigue. It's like the LeBron thing. You can't just keep giving him MVPs. You got to give it to somebody else. LeBron been great for so long, people like to say he's not great. Caleb Williams is suffering from that. And Caleb Williams is suffering from the NIL thing. He's the first legal millionaire college quarterback. He's already living large while he's playing in school. So his reality is different than the reality of a lot of the guys playing collegiate football at this point. So obviously he's going to move different. None of that bothers me. So like Caleb said, if we draft Caleb Williams, ka-chow, get our Lightning McQueen quarterback and let's move. Whatever Josh and them boys and the GM that they hire want to do, I'm with it. I'm giving them full autonomy. As a fan, they got my trust. Whatever you want to do, let's roll. Let's ride, and let's make some moves in 2024. There's 2 games left in the season. Let's get these over with, and let's have some fun this offseason, fans. Let's sit back. Let's talk. Let's theorize, and let's have some goddamn fun this offseason. That's all I got for right now. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Sub up the channel as we're trying to hit 10,000 before the Super Bowl. We're about 800 and some change away. Sub up to the channel for everything raw, unfiltered, objective, and fun when it comes to Washington, because you got to find the fun in it, because on Sundays we see lots of pain. Sub up the channel, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, Rio Robinson out.